Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview October 1st on a Thursday 2015. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Well, looks like we might get some sun today. Still cloudy skies, but I see some blue out there and the beaches are looking kind of nice. Nice flat, calm waters, looking sweet. Might be doing lunch at the gazebo today. October 1st, might as well celebrate. Alright, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, good to be with you. Got a lot to talk about today. Got some news to talk about. Got 6 currency pairs to go over with some analysis and trade plans. And yeah, full day ahead today. A lot of data coming out. It's PMI day. A lot of PMI data coming out today. But before we get there, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will tell you that I do all of my recording in the Asia session. So your charts, if you're coming in after Asia, will be different than mine, but the setups are all pretty much the same. Traders, I started trading in 2006, and in 2008, I finished a 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, came to Thailand 9 days later for a 3-month holiday to celebrate. Well, it's 8 years later, traders, and I'm still in Thailand. Love living in Asia. Love the time zone. I can trade just like a regular job, early in the morning, late at night, and still get a good night's rest. Now, I don't sit in front of my charts for 15 hours a day, traders. I do take breaks, 2 hours here, an hour there, 45 minutes here. Anywhere I can sneak one in, I can. Just depends on what's going on in the markets and how many trades I have on. I am very strict with my money management, so if I'm in my max trades, that's it, right? So important. Remember, capital preservation is the key to success in trading of any instrument. All right, so I'm always looking for opportunities and probabilities where we can, get a W in the win column when I trade, and that's through technical. I love looking at charts and candlestick patterns and formations and support and resistance and all that good stuff. And then, of course, fundamentals is very, very important in my trading. I do look at fundamentals. I now have more of an understanding of fundamentals. And I think I don't trade the news, folks. I will tell you right now, I do not trade the news. But it's very important to understand that they're there. And you need to be aware that they're there so you can adjust your trading. All right, enough about me. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Okay? Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. When you go from a demo account, finally open up a live account, you will see a difference in your trading. Yeah, the brain gets in the way and we get greedy and we do crazy things. All right, news and commentary. Let's take a look at what's going on in the economic calendar today. Well, it's almost 6 hours now. Fed Chair Yellen had spoken, and I do not know what she said, but I don't see any big moves here on the market, so I gather it wasn't that important. However, let's move into what's going on. Japan had manufacturing index come out, and it was forecast for 13, came in at 12. And China manufacturing PMI came out at 49.8. It was forecast for 49.6, so that was a good number. This has all happened in the Asia session, and we just had China manufacturing PMI came out at 47.2, and they were expecting 47.2. Moving later on into our trading day in the London session, we have German manufacturing PMI. And we also have the Great British Pound Manufacturing PMI in the London session today. And as we go into the U.S., I saw it, there we go, ISM Manufacturing PMI today. So we've got quite a lot of PMIs coming out today, so I want to keep an eye on that. Let's review the markets. How did they close yesterday? The US 30 closed up 1.47%. The S&P 500 closed up 1.91%. And the NASDAQ closed up 2.28%. And the small cap 2000 closed up 1.32%. Nice little turnaround there in the markets. Also a lot of green in the Eurozone. The DAX was up 2.22%. The FTSE 100 was up 2.58%. The CAC 40 out of Paris was up 2.57%, with the Euro Stock 50 up 2.34%. Traders, let's move on over to Asia. Now remember that these countries are currently trading. We do have a couple of them on holiday today. The Nikkei 225 is up currently 0.82%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is currently up 0.78%. The Shanghai and the Hang Seng is closed today, and the Kospi is currently up at 0.43%. So that gives you an idea of what's going on in the indices and our economic calendar. We had some pip movement today. There was some good pips to be made yesterday. I missed some of these trades. I am in a couple of positions, and I'm in one that's on a higher time frame scale. Plan on being in it for a couple of weeks probably. Trading's good. Trading's doing all right. And I think I've mentioned it before. I also trade a different instrument in the New York session. I trade options, and that, thank goodness, has turned around. I'm always looking at the S&P 500, and of course you can always trade that on your charts. On your MT4 chart, most MT4 platforms will let you trade the S&P 500. So let's get on. So anyhow, commentary for today is I think we have a good trading day. Just be real alert to data. Remember, tomorrow, Friday, is going to be NFP Friday, so we have like 1 day of trading left, maybe a day and a half. Once we get into London lunch on Friday, basically the markets are going to clam up and everything's going to go sideways until this data comes out. I'm expecting a good NFP. I see no reason not to. ADP came out, 220,000 jobs. So that was pretty upbeat there. So I think we're going to get some good data out as far as NFP goes. All right, let's get over to the charts, my friends. This is the euro dollar. Remember, these are 30-minute charts. 30-minute charts means every candle on the chart is 30 minutes in duration. You can see we're in consolidation here, and we're pretty close to support. Want to see a pullback to the 38.2 fib at 1197 or 1204, somewhere in that area. You can see we got the yellow indicator, that's our resistance line. Then we got the daily pivot. So we got a confluence of things there, and then of course the 38.2 pivot, all at the same area. Great place to short. We just want to wait for this to pull back and give us that opportunity. Again, I don't think this is going to happen until the London Open for us to get this move. I don't think anything's going to happen out from here on in. All the data is out for Asia, so we'll see what happens. This is the pound dollar. Pound dollar made a nice move yesterday. If you followed my trade plan yesterday, you did very well. And unfortunately, right now we are at support and at resistance. We're sort of in this wedge here. So I'd love to see a pullback up to 51.72. I do not think we're going to get it. I put a little star next to the daily pivot. You can take this trade from the daily pivot and then take it down. There's a lot of options here with this pound, or you can wait for a break of this trend line, which is more like the pound's personality, to break this trend line and then give us a retest of the trend line, which can only be one candle, and then sell it from there. So there's a lot of options here with the pound dollar. You're just going to have to wait for London to open. You shouldn't want to do anything now. I don't think we're going to get our pullback. I don't think it's going to pull back that far. But we'll see how this works. I'm more looking towards this trend line trade to get us into the trade and continue to see the downside of dollar strength. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. As you know, the pound has been weak, so we'll just, like I said, just keep an eye on it. And I wouldn't do anything before London Open. Let's take a look at the Aussie. The Aussie, I think, has pulled up a little bit, had some data come out earlier today. So I think the Aussie is probably now above this pivot. I think it was at 70.20 last I looked. So, so we need this to get below this daily pivot. And, 70.04 is okay, but, I really rather look at 69.95 and then just sell this and take it down to the S2 pivot. I know I put one below the S1 pivot at that support line at 69.75. That's really not a lot of pips for us. It's only 25 pips depending on where you get in. So let's look to target this S2 pivot at 0.6952 and let's make this like a 55 pip trade. Give it some wiggle room, move around here. But, this is pretty good support. You got a 200 exponential moving average at resistance and a daily pivot point. And we'll take it down to that reversal pivot at the support 2 pivot at 69.52. Looks like a nice trade. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right, here's the Euro Aussie, another really strange trade setup. I have to be honest with you. This is a valid trend line. It's a 4-touch trend line, and we have the daily pivot right there. We're below the daily pivot. We got the 200 exponential moving average right above it. We got the trend line, so we want to break this trend line, give us a retest. We're going to take this down at 59.16. I know I don't really like trading into 5900 because I think there's a lot of orders there. I think we're going to get some bouncy move there. But there's not a lot of price action from that point left of the chart. So we might get lucky and slide on through there. I want to get down to the S2 pivot is my target area at 1.5745. So I know it's a big target area. I know it's a lot of pips away. But, this Euro Aussie, when it gets in its trend, it really does move. Now, if you look at the chart, you're saying, well, William, this really hasn't moved very much. And you're right, it hasn't. So maybe today's the day, and maybe this will break down to the downside. Or it's going to just bust up to the upside. You never know with the Euro Aussie. It's quite active. And I'm hoping that we get this down move and we get this entry in today. Here's the Euro Yen, finally broke to the downside. We've been waiting for this for some time now, for this Euro Yen to break out of that range, and it finally did break to the downside. It's pulled up, and now we got this big red candle here. However, we're not in a position to sell here. You're looking at 133.78, and you're going to get out at 133.63, which is support. That's like 14 pips. So, this is not a place to do anything. This pair needs to do something. So I'd like to see it pull back to the 134.13 area. I know we're trading into the 134.00 area, which is psychological, and there's probably a lot of orders there, but I think we can get through it and then just continue to the downside and then go down to 133.63. I think that's a much better trading opportunity. That'll be a 50 pip trade, and but right now we're in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing to do here. We need price action to move one way or another. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. This thing all of a sudden decided to get a little gutsy on itself. I tell you the truth, I might have been stopped out. Now that I look at this on my trade, as 64.10 was my stop loss. Well, traders, I did just check, and yes, I did get stopped out on that spike there on that New Zealand dollar, that last candle there. It took me out of my trade. That's okay. I will re-enter it. I will take this trade again. It only took a 13 pip hit, not a big deal. So once this gets below 6,400, I'm looking to sell this. So I really want this to come down to that 0.6373 area, and we'll take it from there. My entry was 63.84, I think, is where I entered short yesterday. So yeah, I took a hit on that one, but that's okay. Well, we're going to re-enter it because I think this is coming down to 6,300 without any problem. So this is a 100 pip trade. I'm willing to enter it again and take it down. We'll see how price action is today. I really don't like now. I would have stayed in the trade over the weekend and into NFP on Friday, but now I don't know if I want to stay in it into NFP. So we'll have to see, but I'm willing to re-enter this. I want to take this. I'm bearish in the New Zealand dollar, so I do want to take this to the downside. But I did lose a trade. Yep, I got stopped out. I just checked, so that's all right. We will get through it, my friends. We'll just good money management. It's no big deal, and we'll just look to re-enter it. I'm convinced this is going down. So, confidence in trading. That's what this is all about. Just a lot of confidence in my trading. All right, that ends our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Traders, have a great trading day, and always remember to trade smart and not hard. Till next time, traders. See you then. Take care now. Bye-bye.